Hi, everybody. This is the Gospel of John study. My name is Bill. I'm from Berlin Center United Methodist. Today is Friday, July 14th, and we're going to look at John chapter 13, verses 22 through 30. Starting on verse 22, his disciples stared at one another, at a loss to know which of them he meant. One of them, the disciple whom Jesus loved, was reclining next to him. Simon Peter motioned to this disciple and said, "Ask him which one he means." Leaning back against Jesus, he asked him, "Lord, who is it?" Jesus answered, "It is the one whom I give this piece of bread when I have dipped it in the dish." Then dipping the piece of bread, he gave it to Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot. As soon as Judas took the bread, Satan entered into him. So Jesus told him, "What you are about to do, do quickly." But no one at the meal understood why Jesus said this to him. Since Judas had charge of the money, some thought Jesus was telling him to buy what was needed for the festival, or to give something to the poor. As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out, and it was night. So I'm going to read now from the text that we've been studying. I'll be on page 112 and 113. It says, the disciples are shocked by Jesus' prediction of his betrayal. Clearly, they had not looked deep inside themselves to realize that any one of them could have been the man. The proof of this is not long coming, as Jesus will go on to indicate that the leader of the 12 is going to deny knowing Jesus not once, not twice, but 3 times in a very short span of time, and all just to save his own neck. This is not the servant leadership and example Jesus was setting and talking about. Notice Peter motions to the beloved disciple and asks him to ask Jesus who will be the betrayer, because the beloved disciple is reclining on the same couch with Jesus. Jesus answers, but indirectly saying, "It is the one to whom I give this piece of bread when I have dipped it in the dish." This should be compared to the Markan account where Jesus says, "It is one of the 12, one who dips the bread in the bowl with me." Mark chapter 14, verse 20. The gist of these two versions of the saying is the same, but the instructive to notice the differences, as it reminds us that both accounts, as we have them now in Greek, and neither one of them is likely to be an exact translation of the Aramaic. The gospel writers had a certain freedom under inspiration to translate and paraphrase and arrange materials according to their overarching purposes. The Gospels are not digital pictures of these events. They are interpretive portraits, with each evangelist adding something to the overall understanding of the Christ event. If previously we heard that Satan was prompting Judas's behavior, now verse 27 we hear something worse, something like demon possession. It says Satan entered him. At this juncture, just as soon as he took the bread, Jesus then says, what you are about to do quickly. And then Judas goes out from the meal. The evangelist punctuating the very chapter on what was happening says dramatically at the end of this segment, "It was night." The time of true darkness in Jesus' story has arrived. We are told quite clearly that none of the disciples present, not even Peter or the beloved disciple, understood what Jesus was doing. The guess was that since he was the treasurer, he was going out to make preparations for the festival. On a historical front, the conjecture is important, as it probably makes clear that the meal with the foot washing took place early in the week, and so it was assumed that Judas went out to make the preparations for Passover by buying the lamb and so forth. Our evangelist has left traces of the early meal right in front of us at the beginning and end of the story. But in the middle, he has intercalated a bit from the Last Supper, as if he told that story as well. It would be 3 meals in a row, John 12, John 13, John 14, but what he wants to do next is group together the after-dinner teachings of Jesus during several nights during that week in John 13, verses 21 through 17. John 13, verse 21 and verse 17. It's sufficed to present one combo presentation of the meals of Passover week and one combo presentation of the various teachings done during this week. So let's take a look at the questions. Why were meals such important events in the life of Jesus, especially during the last week of his ministry? Why do you think Jesus meant by saying the disciples were clean? Was Jesus actually encouraging Judas to get on with betraying him when he said, "What you are about to do, do quickly"? All right, tune in tomorrow as we will continue finishing John chapter 13. We'll look at verses 31 through 38 tomorrow. All right, have a great day.